Let's just go live. Let's just get the show on the road. Hey guys, folks that are already ready for the stream and chat, what do you call an alligator wearing a vest? An investigator. How's everybody doing? We're doing something a little bit different with this stream. Hopefully everything is set up right. Got my mic. I have my audio setup is completely different this time, and I've wanted to use my studio mic for streaming for a while, but there's a lot of reasons why I haven't. But I'm kind of testing it with this stream because this is going to be kind of a shorter one. I'm only going to be streaming for about an hour, maybe hour and change, because I've got somewhere to be right after this. So I'm going to boogie, but I've got a video planned for mid-end of next week, and I need some footage for it. And I figure if this is going to be kind of a short stream, why not play some games so I can get some footage for it? And that way, when you guys see the video, you'll be like, hey, or maybe people won't care. I don't know. I think it's kind of clever, so that's what we're doing. All right, so I guess let's go ahead and get started. The stream itself is like really early, 8:45. I normally don't start streaming until 9:30, I think, but I've got to get to where I need to be pretty early. Is that G-top or go-top? That's G-top, I think. I'm not even sure. It just looks nice, and it's something cool to open the stream with. You know what else is cool? Oops. Is this background. Look at that. How about that? So, the first game we're going to play is Wildwoods. Greetings, fellow 420 gigahertz CPU intellectual. Oh no, I don't hear anything. Are you kidding me? Why is this happening? Oh, probably because my headphones are turned off. Fall Guys, please. I don't know anything about that game, and I don't really want to know anything about that game. Hey, Timothy, Libertalia, AJ, Puffin. My name is Scumbag. My name is Scumbag. You hear it? Good. Let's get rolling here. So I don't think that this game is a furry game per se. I don't think that the developers are furries at all. But, I mean, they're cats and you fight foxes and wolves and all sorts of stuff. So, like, how could you not draw the lines? And I mean, it's not a bad thing to be associated with. A lot of people, this is a good game. Just in general. If you haven't played it, the developers were on itch.io for a while, but they recently got funding to go from indie game to big boy game, or big girl game, big person game, adult, well, not adult game, but just like big leagues. And one of the main things they need to go big time is online multiplayer. And I guess the game wasn't written in a way that makes online multiplayer easy for them to code. So they're rewriting it. And I don't know if they're going to be rewriting it in a different engine. To be honest, I would not be surprised at all if they are going to use... They may have talked about this, actually. I shouldn't, like, spread rumors. But I wouldn't be surprised if this became like an exclusive game on certain platforms, you know? Because it's a really, really, really good game. For an indie game, this is outstanding. I don't even remember where I found it. Mobile? Oops. Didn't you make a video for Deepin? You didn't make a video for Dippin? Okay, and? Is that a question or an accusation? Like, are people offended that I mean, there's a lot of distros. You know what, guys? There's only 10 distros left in the series, in the season. There's only 10 episodes left. And 4 of those are going to be special episodes that are kind of for me. Oh, and so going back to the audio thing, because I just realized I'm probably shouting and I don't mean to be. So my mixer is a, what is this thing? Behringer 192 something. Either way, the support just isn't there on Linux. It's just not good. And normally what I would do is I would listen to, I would be monitoring my voice. EG plays VR chat win. I don't have any VR anything. So that, I don't know when that would happen. And I would need a 3D Sona and stuff. I think that there's a lot of work that goes into that. But anyway, so my mixer doesn't like Pulse Audio, or Pulse Audio doesn't like my mixer. I'm not exactly sure why, but I can't listen through the mixer, and I can't do input and output through the mixer at the same time. It causes a really strange pitch shift, and it takes my voice down several octaves, and it's just, it doesn't work. It sounds really bad. And even if it didn't sound bad, like I forgot how to roll. That's how, okay. And even if it didn't sound bad, I sound completely different than I do like in videos and stuff. And I think that my voice, or at least the quality of my audio, is pretty recognizable. That's something that I'm kind of known for. So I think that it kind of does, I'm doing myself a disservice by using an inferior microphone for these streams. And I learned recently that Blood, Sex, and Magic by Red Hot Chili Peppers, they recorded that entire album. Hey! Hey, 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 hey! Okay. I guess that maybe that was a bug. Anyways, they recorded that entire album with Shure SM57s, even the vocals. And the microphone I use is a Shure SM57. And I think it sounds really good. It sounds really warm. It's just a good all-around microphone. It seems to have kind of a bad reputation for recording vocals for some reason. If you go to sites that talk about gear and stuff, people pretty much always trash on it for vocals. It's mostly like a drum mic. But I record everything with this mic. And I love this mic. And I've thought about getting a SB7 or a Shure SM58 just to try it out, because it's the same type. It's like the same idea, but just different. But I don't know. I've recorded every single video on the channel, other than live streams. I've recorded every video on this channel with this microphone. Every single video with the same microphone too. Well, now that I think about it, I may have been using a headset for the OpenSUSE, my very, very first video talking about OpenSUSE Factory. That might have been with a headset, now that I think about it. Anyway. The vast majority of the videos on this channel have been... Why aren't you moving? Oh, is it? Are we at a... We are. Kind of weird. Ah, I thought he was a regular fox. So, in using this microphone, I spent probably an hour this morning tuning it and resetting up the compression and everything, because I had all of my settings dialed in for my headset microphone. And this is obviously not a headset microphone. So I had to spend a lot of time setting this up and getting it to work. You're waiting on your index to ship? There we go. Oh no, bring it back. There. Couldn't see chat so good. So in the last stream I did, I was streaming from the stream top. Oh man. And that was kind of a, that's always a pain. It doesn't really fit on my desk well. Wow. break that. I've never seen that bug before. Interesting. Crap, we're gonna run out of wood. So what am I streaming from right now? This is just my workstation. Whoa! But the workstation is also capturing. So before I was streaming my workstation, but I was streaming from the stream top. Because during the Neon update, it was going to drop the network. And if I'm streaming with OBS, obviously we can't, like, they'll be dropped in the stream, you know? Ah, I can't see what the hell's going on. This isn't good. There we go. That might have been bugged because I wasn't hitting anybody. So, going back to the audio one last time, the reason why I'm yelling, if I am yelling, maybe I'm not, or maybe the compression is dealing with it, is because I'm wearing my studio headphones, like my monitoring headphones, but I can't monitor my voice from here because it's all, the mic is going into the mixer, but my headphones aren't, and it's just not good. So I need to get a new mixer. It's a really high quality mixer, but it just doesn't seem to work on Linux for anything. Powerful light. I don't have. Sure. Oh, that's cool looking. Have I tried game development? I mean, I've written some very simple games. I wouldn't call that, I mean, I guess for all intents and purposes that is game development, but I wouldn't call it that. Nothing professionally. I probably could though. I wanted to get into Panda 3D. I was into JavaScript for a while, but now I've largely grown out of it. I use Python professionally, so I've been using it on my own projects, and I really dig it. And Panda 3D is a pretty good little engine with a lot of corporate backing from Disney. And it seems like it would be really fun to just hack on a game, see if I could throw something together. I've got a lot of ideas for games. I've got like worlds and maps and characters and stuff all figured out, but sitting down and like writing the code to make it happen is something different. I'll get there someday, but I have a lot of other stuff I want to do. Like that's kind of a bucket list thing. You remember when I was bashing on Python? It's true. I am capable of growth. I used to bash on Node too. And I was like, well, maybe it's not so bad. There certainly are things that I still don't like about Python. A lot of weird inconsistencies. But as for what it does, I like it for unconventional reasons, I think. You know, I've tried to go this way 3 times now, and it keeps taking me to the store. Let's go this way and see if there's... Maybe I'm stuck in a loop? I'm not sure what's going on. I mean, everyone has their likes and dislikes. Opinions on TypeScript? I like TypeScript. See, that's the thing about my unconventional reasoning. I like TypeScript for the compiler. I don't care about types. Me, personally, I do not have any use for types. Now, that's not to say types are bad or that, you know, on big projects, they're very useful. A lot of programmers really enjoy, most programmers I think really enjoy types, strong typing, but I like things really loosey-goosey. I like duck typing to the extreme. So, and yeah, that means that you don't get the benefits of the compiler telling you when something's wrong, but I like that is a thing for sure, but I don't care. The stuff I write really uncomplicated, very simple code that has as little logic as possible. So there's not usually a lot to go wrong. And with Python, a Python app is just a collection of scripts, right? That's basically it. A script that, like a collection of scripts that sits behind maybe a web server, an app server or something. So, I don't know. I'm really simplifying things, but That's just my style. My favorite language? I don't know. I used to have favorite languages, but now I just use whatever works. Probably Python because it can do so much. That doesn't mean that it can do everything well. It's such a capable language. I used to really like Ruby a lot, but I worked on a project that really showed me its deficiencies, and now I don't like it very much. I used to like Node, so JavaScript, but then I've liked to rewrite my projects in different languages. I've got like a Discord bot that I've rewritten a dozen times. I've got a log parser that I've written a few different times. And yeah, those are kind of the two main projects, I guess. And I've written those in Ruby, TypeScript, CoffeeScript, regular JavaScript, and Python. I haven't rewritten the bot in Python, actually, but I plan to. Godot has experimental support for Python. Godot has GDScript, too, which is basically the same thing. Hey, Zen. How's it going? I like HCL, HashiCorp language. I'm pretty good with that. But what's with all the logs? What do you mean? Oh, the logs? I don't know. I think that this is busted. I'm going to try to take this branch one more time, and then I'm going to call it good for this, because I think we're stuck in a loop. Oh no, this is the boss. There we go. Timothy, you like good old PHP? That is a language that I will never like. It's a language that, it's like Bash. It has very specific use cases, and everything outside those use cases, it's just bad at. Like, that's what makes Python cool, is that it's really good at a lot of different things. Node also is really good at a lot of different things. You can write web applications, you can write desktop applications, you can write CLIs, you can write scripts, you can write CM stuff, like configuration management. With PHP, you can write web apps. And there's support for everything else, but it's just not, like... There's a reason why so many things... There's a reason why when you find CLIs and stuff, they're written in... Ruby used to be popular, now Python is. Go is really popular now. It's just... Like, you know, managers and development leaders that I worked with would always say, oh, you know, those are just the popular choices right now. And it's like, yeah, but they're popular for a reason. It's not just a fad all the time. Like, that's an easy cop-out to try to explain why you're continuing with something that might be outdated. But I mean, Go is used for good reasons. Go is awesome. Thanks for that. This is taking a little concentration. The Outlaw King. I think I'm playing on easy too. Damn, he hits hard. Oop. Oh, you son of a... Oh, I didn't know you could throw items. That's kind of funny. There should be stamina, because you can totally spam this. Jesus. Ah, okay, buddy, it's time for you to charge. There we go. And that's it. I think we beat it. All of the money for me. And then that's the game. Fun game. Arch still has all the sites in PHP. I mean, if it works, there's no reason to switch away from it. But PHP would be the absolute last language I would use to work for, do something, you know? Lots of sites do. It's really good for web dev. I mean, isn't it PHP is personal homepage or something like that? Okay, so that's Wildwoods. Now, let's play a little Streets of Rage. Python with TK enter. Tinker? Is that what it is? Tinker? Whoops. There we go. You thought PHP was PHP hypertext processor? I mean, that's probably what it is now, but the original name was personal homepage. Personal homepage tools. Hold on. Well, yeah, let's load into the game. I need my mouse, please. We'll switch. Oh, I see what happened. That sucked. That was a side effect of using this microphone. I have to reset up OBS to plug into this and not the regular output, input, whatever. That's okay, I was just complaining about the game. I don't remember it being this hard. I just played to the boss like a couple hours ago just to make sure that I could do it without it being a disaster. And I don't remember it being this hard. But okay. Anyways, the last thing I said was if you guys have any questions that are development related, DevOps, software development, that sort of thing, you can ask them now. Now's a good time. We can talk. We can chat coding and stuff. I've got lots of opinions. I don't know a whole lot, but Pygame is starting to feel dated. Pygame's been dated for a long time. There are a lot of other good Python game libraries. There's no reason to use Pygame unless you were following a tutorial or something. What advice would you give a high school with skills in programming? Step 1, learn Linux. And I say that from a infrastructure sort of perspective because, like it or not, production systems run on Linux unless there is a reason for them not to. So if you want to be a good developer that can help the ops guys, maybe you need to deploy some code or something, you're gonna need to know Linux. So learn containers? I guess so. I hate containers. I think that they're just a pain in the ass. I think I've thought that containers were overrated for a long time. Oh wow, you just up and died. You've Dockerized RICs and websites and stuff. Yeah, that just makes the deployment like it makes the configuration more of a pain. I don't know. I don't like containers very much. From a development opsy perspective. Then there's a lot of times there's additional security stuff that you have to do for containers because in Docker everything runs as root. Well, not everything runs as root, but like it's just a thing. Dude. Oh my god. I'm gonna get zapped. What does it mean to learn containers anyways? Like what does that mean? Like are we talking about the orchestration of containers like Kubernetes? Because I work as a DevOps guy and we don't do anything with Kubernetes. When I was looking for a job, a lot of places that were looking for DevOps, they just wanted somebody to manage their Kubernetes. And I mean, if that's your gig, just sit around and manage Kubernetes all day, then that's pretty sweet. But I don't know, I think that says something about a technology if you require a dedicated person to manage. So what I hear from that is Kubernetes is so complicated that we need to hire a dedicated person for it. That seems silly to me. Kubernetes is still newish. Kubernetes has been around for long enough, I think. And plus, a lot of places offer managed Kubernetes, like EKS, which is Amazon's Elastic Container Service. So if I was to use containers in production, I'd probably use something like Fargate and just avoid the orchestration altogether and let a managed server. I mean, that's supposed to be what EKS does, but there's still hand-holding when you do it that way. I don't know. Azure does it too. What is Azure's called? Oh, wonderful. I don't want it. Oh, it's just a ginormous field. This is going to be a long battle. Good lord. Oh, I wonder if the pipe can stun her when she's about to do a special. Nope. Oh, wow, it doesn't even stun her there. Gotcha. I need some more food, though. Yeah, I was just about to say she's coming in for a special ability. I don't know how to avoid getting hit by that. Yeah, see? Those are unblockable. Like, you can't avoid getting hit by that. I should be able to take her now, though. Oh, if you get her from below, it'll work. Those guys with the green jackets are the worst. They can just power through whatever attack you're doing. Like that? Like that? Dude. That dude will not die. G signal? Oh, come on. There we go. Okay. Snaps can be considered containers. I guess so. Yeah. Between Travis CI and GitHub Actions. I like Travis CI because I know it really well, but GitHub Actions have, what are they called actions that you can just include in your CI? That's pretty cool. I don't really like relying on third-party stuff, though, because then you're kind of beholden to what upstream is sending you. So I prefer Travis, but it depends. There's a story in here somewhere. Whoa. Ah. Bitbucket uses containers for to do app building? Circle CI's workflow is based entirely on containers. Oh. Oh, wow, these guys hit hard. Now they're fighting each other. That's great. Yeah, instead of using a third-party tool like Jenkins. Jenkins? You mean like plugins and stuff? You use Jenkins at work. It's a means to an end. To do your app builds and stuff. So are snaps a good place to start learning containers? No, not really. I mean, if you wanted to learn containers, I would just use Docker. But again, what does it mean to learn containers? Like, what does that mean? Learn how to use a container, Docker run. Learn how to build a container, Docker, what is it, like build, push, tag, push, pull, like just the commands. It's just a CLI. I guess you gotta learn how to organize your Docker files and stuff, but still, it's just... Like, you couldn't really put on your resume, I know containers. Like, what does that mean? Like, if we're talking about orchestration through Kubernetes, that's one thing, but you don't learn containers. That doesn't really make sense. That's like saying, I know how to use an IDE. Like, okay. I like that the guard's name is Barney. He just runs in and grabs me. I've seen that kind of stuff on resumes, though. I know how to use this IDE. I can use Visual Studio. I mean, that's fair. It is a complicated IDE, but it's not something that you put on your resume. The people you work with are like in their 70s, so that they don't really, they view them as VMs. I mean, to be fair, they are virtual machines. It's just abstracted. I don't think that the hardware matters that much. Like, well, it's not a virtual machine because it doesn't have these attributes. Yeah, but it's a machine that is a virtualized environment that is running on your machine but isn't your machine. There's a virtual machine for you. Doesn't really matter what kind of hypervisor it is, unless you're managing the hypervisor, in which case that matters. But I think for most people, it doesn't really matter. Dick lasted the longest. Oh, you just have to beat his shield down or wait for him to attack. Oh, this guy's a real pain. Oh my god, what's the way of beating this guy? His shield is too strong. There, okay, it breaks. Is he gonna get it back? I just kicked his ass into the stairs. By the way, what's the name of this game? This is Streets of Rage 4 with the Save State DLC. This is a character named Nicole. Well, the character is Blaze, but I think it's an Australian Shepherd, and her name is Nicole. And I think that she is pretty badass. Oh, you? This is so weird. Oh, wonderful. Guess while those guys are busy. Django is great. Oh, they do break him back out. That sucks. Oh, it takes them a long time, though. It's fine. Those guys are gangsters until you break their shields. Yeah, and then they're pathetic. Wow. Oh. How do you like it? Wow, just that one body slam took that guy out. Oh, so 2 at a time? Or 3? Oh no! There we go. Would you guys call this game a, this is just a beat 'em up genre? Oh my god, look how many of these guys are. Oh shoot, it takes like 7 or 8 hits to break that. Well, that guy's just gone now. Wow. Go? You know what? I would like to go. Dude. Oh, okay, you could just do that. That's probably more effective, actually. I'm almost dead. Or no, he's almost dead. What experience do you... I would say don't worry about containers. I worry about being a good, proficient developer, and don't worry about using containers. If you work at a job that requires you to use containers, then figure it out. I wouldn't say containers are something that you need to like worry about, like, oh, I gotta make sure I'm good with containers. Like, make sure you're a good developer. If you're a good developer, then being good with containers will just like kind of come as part of the whole thing. But I think that that's probably a really common thing that junior developers do. They're like, I got to be good at this thing. Like, no, you need to focus on being a good developer. Know what bad patterns look like and how to avoid them, and just stuff like that. Don't be like, if I'm good with this one technology, I can get any job. Like, absolutely not. That is completely incorrect. And plus, you wouldn't want to be typecasted as a specific developer anyways. Like, I'm a container guy, that's what I do. Okay, so in 10 years when containers aren't a thing, or when the next new technology comes out, I guess you'll be working on legacy systems, because if you're a container guy and that's all you do, you know, like, don't focus on the technology, focus on the discipline of being a good principled developer. Know what's good and what's bad, have experience working with lots of different things, from front ends to back ends, and make sure that you can do what your team needs you to do. You know, like imagine working on a team of developers, like 4 or 5 developers, and a project comes up and you're like, all I know how to do is containers, so I'll just do the container stuff. Well, funnily enough, this project doesn't have containers, so what are you going to be doing? This commissioner's a real asshat. Oh, that worked out. Are you really just gonna charge back and forth? That's gonna be your strat? Oh. Wow, this guy sucks. I can't even get out of it. Like, what am I supposed to do? So he's gonna charge down there, I'll go up here. Wow. This boss is terrible. There, he did something different. Oh no, he's gonna do that again. There. Hey, thank you, Willem, for the super chat. Now's a good time to remind everybody that I have ads turned off. I'm gonna wait because this guy is like really, really difficult. Talk about enemies that just keep spamming the same ability. Good lord. We fight guys like that on ESO that just keep spamming the same ability over and over again. There's nothing you can do. I hope that it starts me back at the boss, because I don't really want to fight my way to him again. We're 46 minutes in, actually, so I think this will be my last try. Oh, jeez. All the way back. Oh, jeez. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, so I disabled monetization on the channel because I've talked about it before, but basically I don't have any control over the ads that they're showing. And there's been some really, really bad, sketchy ads that I don't agree with showing on the channel at all. And I'm not here to make money. I'm here to have fun, create content that people enjoy. So I'll just do without ads. So if you want to support me, you can become a patron, or you can use Super Chat like Willem did. And I appreciate that. Well, there's political ads, but I mean, at the end of the day, I guess they're all political ads. Like, they're not trying to sell you a product, they're trying to sell you an idea. It's all about sales, you know? So, like, even if it's an ad with supposed moral leanings or politics trying to get you to vote for somebody, at the end of the day, it's all sales. They're trying to sell you an idea. They're trying to sell you a position. They want a piece of your mind share. And that's not what this channel is about. This channel is about having a good time. If anything, this channel is about getting away from that shit. You know? Like, this isn't real life. This is a game. You know, EG's a character. So I don't want that shit anywhere near my stuff. It has nothing to do with the channel. It has nothing to do with me. And it's not the kind of content I want to have people watch. So I don't know what disabling monetization will do to my channel, though, because that effectively means that YouTube is not making any revenue from my channel at all. And I can't, I mean, they would always say, oh, we don't, monetization has no effects in rankings and stuff, but I mean, come on, they're going to promote to you content that makes them money, and my content doesn't make anybody money. So, I don't know. I have no, that's just an allegation. I have nothing to back that up. But given that my channel doesn't really get indexed by the algorithm anyway, I don't think it's really going to have much of an effect. If you turn on monetization, YouTube can't serve ads. JavaScript isn't too scary. JavaScript is weird for two reasons. For starters, it uses a very strange object system called prototypes. So most object-oriented programming languages use class-based objects. So when you create a class, new class, whatever, that's going to be a blueprint for your object. And even though JavaScript, specifically ES6, allows for classes, that's just syntactic sugar. They're not actual classes, they're prototypes. And prototype object orientation is a little weird. It's different, but it's just something. It's just a thing. So that makes JavaScript weird. And then the other thing that makes JavaScript weird, I guess it's less about the language and more about the runtime, is that JavaScript, and specifically Node.js and all of the browser-based engines, are asynchronous all the time. So you can't really ensure what is going to happen first in your script. So if you have like a Python script and you have a whole bunch of commands that say, run a subcommand and then make an API call and then do this, do that, those functions are going to run, those commands, they could be anything. They're just going to run in order from top to bottom, usually. But in Node, all of those commands are going to run at the exact same time. So even though, let's say you've got 7 lines worth of commands, the command in line 7 could run first. It's a matter, well, actually, it's not really accurate to say which one's going to run first, it's which one's going to return first, and they should all return at the same time. Unless like it's doing an API call and then you have to wait. But there's a benefit to that, because if you are making API calls, your program doesn't have to wait for that API call to finish, it can continue on. But of course, if you're waiting for data to come back, that can be a problem, because you might have a function or whatever that needs the data from that API call to do anything. And that's where callbacks come in. And then callbacks suck really bad. So, I mean, callbacks have their purpose, but by and large, they're very cumbersome. So that's where promises come from. In Node, you may, or in JavaScript, you might see then. So like do a function dot then, and then dot finally, I think is, so those are like regular promises. And then the latest syntax is async and await, which people are very familiar with because it's a very common pattern. But what people don't realize about async await is that if the library doesn't support it, you have to shim it in. So if you're using like an old Node module that was written with at best promises in mind, or at worst callbacks, you can't just use async await because the function won't know what to do with it. So there are built-in libraries in Node that shim that support in. But then your imports and requires become just really messy and very difficult to read. So in researching this, turns out you can control the ads on your channel. You have to set up AdSense blocking controls. That's kind of interesting. What do you think are better to start with, tutorials or books? That depends entirely on the person. I can't read for like shit. I have a very, very short attention span, and I'm not a very good reader to begin with. So books are a no-go for me personally. I personally learn by getting my hands dirty, start working on stuff, and then having a mentor or just a person that I can bounce ideas and questions off of. So if I'm working on something, like I'm teaching myself a new technology, I hope to have a, what's the word? The domain expert, for lack of a better term. Just somebody that knows the technology better than I do, that can check my assumptions and my understanding. So if I make something work, I might get the wrong idea, like, oh, it's because I flipped this bit and did that, but in reality it was something completely unrelated. Wow, when these guys are stacked up like this, they suck. Oh, I knew that was a risk. These guys suck. These guys are really crappy enemies. They're just obnoxious. Anyways, yeah, so. That's how I prefer to learn new technologies and stuff like that. Oh, are those specials? Is that what those stars are? What? Oh, couldn't even tell that was busted. Try to find some personal projects. Yeah. This guy is such a miserable boss. Wait for him to do his charge again. So these guys have to go immediately. Like those add-ons, they have to go. You cannot fight this guy with those dudes around. So. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna save my special for when he starts doing, when the dudes start showing up. this is going way better than before. Wow, he's like totally different this time. Remember last time he was just doing that non-stop? Uh-oh. Okay, this is good, because now I can get them all together and use my special. Yeah, okay. Oh, is this where he's gonna start spamming it? Oh my god! Oh, I love attacks like that just stop you in the middle of your tracks. There we go. Oh my god. Dude, this guy is such a pain in the ass. Development and maths. Is there a particular topic that interests me? No? Not really. I think I used to have stuff that was more interesting. Back-end ops stuff is cool. You gonna try again? Oh, that time it stunned him. Oh, that was BS. That guy is terrible. Back-end ops stuff is all I do. Timothy? Yeah, that's me too. That's what I do. Alright. Honestly, that'll probably be the last time I play that game. I don't like stuff like that. It just, you create enemies that just keep spamming the same ability, and that's what makes them difficult. It's just lame. Alright, so we're 58 minutes in. And can we get it? That'll do, yeah. There you go. 4 gigabytes of RAM use, 4.5. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Try to make tic-tac-toe with Python with a GUI. I bet you that would be extraordinarily difficult. When I got into coding personal projects, I tried stuff like that. Actually, I'll show you one that I did a long time ago, and it was incredibly difficult. I think it'd be here. I made a game in Ruby, and it was unbelievably difficult to do. Check this out. FGLRX. Anybody remember what that is? For a video? I hope that video. I made this indicator for a video. I doubt that video is still around. Maybe it is. Oh my god, it is. Sorry if that was loud. Wow. It's bad. That video is not good. This is in GTK C#. Oh, it's bad. We're getting out of here. Time to bail. There it is. That's Vala. What? Did I get rid of the Ruby version? No way. Why did I do that? Huh. Here's a CoffeeScript version of that log parser I was talking about. C# version of the bot. Oh, I guess I've written a lot of stuff in... Oh, that's TypeScript, but I have written C# versions of the bot. Oh, there it is. Nibbles clone in Ruby. Ruby and Gosu. So this was the very first game I ever wrote. And it was one of the most miserable things I've ever done. This kind of stuff right here is what makes it really difficult. my brain just doesn't work this way. Trying to figure out where things need to be and these weird operators and stuff. It doesn't. My brain doesn't like it. And then I rewrote it in Vala. What do I think of stuff like Ansible and Chef? They're good. I use Salt at work. Salt is really cool. Documentation, introduction to Salt. Timothy loves Ansible. I find Ansible's documentation to be very difficult, especially when compared to Salt. Salt is so freaking easy. I mean, Salt, using it is a little weird, but the documentation is outstanding. I reference the API stuff all the time. There you go. Rename Mo. Everything has examples. Oh, this is not what I remember. This is completely different. So, if I wanted to reference, so I need like API docs. I don't want tutorials. Yeah, this is closer to what I remember. Playbooks, user guide. I can't even find what I'm looking for. Modules, there we go. Yeah, here we go. Look at this, there's no way to search this. So if I want to see, how do I install stuff for OpenSUSE? We'll do package modules. And then there's just this ginormous list, and you kind of have to know what you're looking for. So Salt PKG on the left. You mean this thing? This is states. Installation of packages using OS package managers such as Yum or apt-get. So this is how to install a repo and an application with Salt. So let's go to, I guess, apt, maybe apt repo. Examples, install Apache. This is close enough. This probably has a better example. Well, that's apt repo. And then in Salt, it would be, see, without kind of knowing how it all works, like what is base? What does that mean? Package repo managed, what does that mean? It can be a little weird. And these are states also. These aren't like modules. And modules are their own thing. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. So you would call the PKG module, but if you were pointing it like at Debian or Ubuntu, you would reference this. And then this is how you would control all of the machines registered in Salt. It uses globbing, which is really cool. So if you wanted to run apt-get auto remove across all of your managed instances, this is all you would run. And I know Ansible, Puppet, Chef, everybody has their own thing, but this is freaking sick, dude. Look how simple that is. Ugh. Anyway. So yeah. At refactor. What? This was 3 years ago? Wow. There you go. So here's the same code, different languages. I think this is a really good exercise. Take a project that you've written in one language and just port it to another. I like that the comment here is just chilling. I don't know why. Just chilling again. This must be linting. That does sound like me, though. I definitely know it's my code. Okay. So anyways, I think we're going to wrap it up here. We've been going for a little over an hour. Hashtag just chilling. It's the most EG thing ever. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been fun. You feel like you comment your code a lot more? I got this poisonous idea in my head that comments were bad and that you should just write self-documenting code. And that if you have to comment your code, that means that you've written in a verbose way, or you're not a good enough programmer to read the code. And that is a really incredibly bad perspective to have, and I don't have that anymore. But all of my old code is lacking in the comments department, and I'm a little ashamed of that. But, you know, hopefully we're all capable of growing and changing and changing and realigning our perspectives and criticizing our former selves. When will the next stream be? It's every Saturday around this time. Every single Saturday. So yeah. So the game footage in this video in this stream is going to be used in a video next week. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I think that's it. So do you guys think that I should make public the Distro Delves episode right now after this stream? Or do you think we should wait until tomorrow like I've been doing it for the past couple months? I'll let you guys decide. Should we do it now or should we do it tomorrow? And I'll tell you what, the YouTube delay, even on very low latency, is just killer. Wait until tomorrow? It's a shorter stream, so we need more. The first 2 hits are wait until tomorrow, so I think I'm going to wait until tomorrow. All right. We're going to wait till tomorrow. It's worth the wait. It's a good one. You guys will like it. All right, everyone. Thanks for sticking around.